Hi, good evening. My name is Jovi Santiago, and this is my presentation for the Business 305 Marketing and Advertising class, University of Hawaii, West Oahu. My presentation tonight is on the realestatebuyingtour.com. It's a service that I like to create that allows people from Hawaii to learn and also become real estate investors, owning maybe their first home or their first investment property in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, it's an out-of-state service. This is a great product because it gives people from Hawaii who only dreamed of becoming landlords and homeowners an opportunity to actually doing it in real life. This is a guided tour. It's also a mentorship that immerses attendees into everything they need to know about buying and becoming a real estate investor. Also includes an opportunity to meet the team there on the ground in Indianapolis that will help them not only find property, but make the purchase, finance it, fix it if need be, manage it, and also to help them protect assets. So it's a pretty complete opportunity or complete process, and it's a great opportunity for most here in Hawaii. Some examples of the products that we have up there, the houses, would be this duplex that I'm looking at myself. This is a 6-bedroom duplex, so it's 3 bedrooms on each side, 3 baths. It's 2,900 square feet, and it's located in a great neighborhood in Indianapolis. The asking price right now, just $85,000. Here in Hawaii, that would be unheard of. I think a house like this would probably sell for somewhere around $600,000, probably over $1 million, depending on where it was located. But here in Indianapolis, and this is a real offer, by the way, it's only $85,000. This house not only is a great price, but it already has renters living in it. It cash flows, which means it already profits for the person buying this property. You will make a positive cash flow of over $500 every single month. So you'd buy the property at only $84,000, which means you could have a mortgage for as low as $40 or $50, making $300 a month payments, and still with that, collecting over $500 in positive cash flow each month. This is unheard of in Hawaii, and I think people, once they see this, would just be amazed. And this is something that I'd love to share with more people here in Hawaii. One of the things I want to do with my business is also create a strong brand. I think trust and confidence is going to be a major keystone for my business. And so I wanted to take a little time to talk about the branding and what my brand should be. So whenever people hear the realestatebuyingtour.com, I want them to think about, well, trust. I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to think about the phrase, this is a great investment, becoming a landlord, a homeowner, a sense of accomplishment. These are the kinds of feelings and emotions I want to come with the name of my company. And hopefully with the marketing mix and the appeals I put together tonight, that's what will happen. So why this business? Real quickly, here in Hawaii, I think we're used to paying so much for homes that we become immune to price. We see a house for $40,000 and we think, oh my God, it's a great deal. That's not the case. The average price of a home in Hawaii is $600,000. People would buy that actually in 30 years, may or may not pay it off. Who knows? It's just a heavy investment for people in Hawaii. And many of us, it takes us years, if not decades, to raise that kind of money or the money that we need to make a down payment for a house like this. It's one of the hardest things that we do in Hawaii. The real sad thing about that is that this is not the way it is in the rest of the country. There might be a few other cities across the country that have this phenomena of this kind of pricing, but as a whole, we're the extreme side of the scale. Most homes, especially in Indianapolis or in Ohio or in parts of the Midwest, go for a tenth of the price. And here in Hawaii, we just would not believe that until we actually saw it. And I think this tour will help open the eyes of a lot of people. My tour is going to help bring light to what's really out there and maybe show people that here in Hawaii, this is the odd place. The real world in the rest of the country is a lot more inexpensive for property, and becoming a homeowner is not as challenging outside of Hawaii as we might think. Owning a home, I think, also appeals to a lot of people both emotionally and also very in their pocketbook, so very rationally and financially as well. So I think I can approach people from many different directions and have quite a large audience that would listen to the product I have. My primary target market would be homeowners, adults 35 and older, empty nesters, couples, professionals, people who are maybe 15 to 20 years away from retirement, or maybe a little sooner. The people who have investment income, of course, and if they don't have investment income, at least they can apply for credit and use that to make purchases. This would be my primary market. My secondary market, however, is a lot younger. I would say 25 to 44. Believe it or not, military families would be a great target market for this. Middle to upper management, and of course, entrepreneurs of all ages. House buying or real estate is both an emotional issue as well as a financial and more very rational issue. So I would use both appeals, both the emotional and a rational appeal to market my product. Buying real estate property is a sense of accomplishment. Owning a home, being a homeowner, is something that we all dream of here in Hawaii. So talking about my product can be a very emotional and emotive product or process. So I feel that I can use that to drive people to my website. Phrases like "you can do it," "I did it, so can you," become financially independent, be successful, go from paying rent to being paid rent. That's a great emotional motivator. Make your dreams a reality as a real estate investor. There's a lot of different appeals to people's emotions that I would like to use to drive people to my site. But let's not forget, there's also a very rational side to this as well. Buying and investing property is a pretty straightforward math problem. And once you get the right elements into your equation, it makes sense, you pull the trigger. So I would also use the rational appeal here. How would you like to buy this home for only $12,000? I mean, who wouldn't turn and look? I made a 42% return on investment. That would get people's attention. I make $700 in passive income every month. These are great statements that a rational person interested in finances may turn and pay attention to. So I would use that to drive attention to my website. The marketing mix, pretty straightforward. I like all of them. I love advertising. But for my product, I would probably focus on the following. I would use the mass appeal traditional advertising methods. I like radio. I like direct mail. I also like some print. Not all print, some. I also love the new media, especially for its cost effectiveness. You can't argue with the power and the price of things like Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Again, they all have their parts into my strategy, though. I would also invest a lot of my own personal time volunteering and speaking to local networking events, at local network events, maybe real estate investors get together, entrepreneurs clubs, investment clubs, Rotary clubs, local trade unions, if that were something I could do. I would invest also quite heavily in a great website and into great management of my social networking. Why radio? Well, radio, I think, because I have an emotional product, because I can touch on the heartstrings of people, is perfect. It's very cost effective. If you have to sit in traffic each morning or afternoon, you know that's the audience I want. And also, I love the idea of using an endorsement from a well-known DJ. Specifically, I love Michael W. Perry from KSSK. Amazing personality, great voice, and he speaks directly to that 35 plus target market that I feel would be my primary market. I would invest in live reads, which are about $500 a pop, but I believe that's well worth it and money well spent. And if I could, I'd love to take him on a tour and have him see for firsthand what the tour can provide and what properties are available. God forbid he bought one and became a client of mine. I think that would go even further in endorsing or furthering my campaign. I would also take a look at a secondary radio station, maybe 98.5, That's the Hawaii format, and that's anchored by morning show host Rory Wild. Now, I personally know Rory, and I know he's a real estate investor himself, so this would fit right to one of his hot buttons, and he would be passionate about this right off the bat. But my secondary market for adults 25 to 44, well, this is the #1 station that reaches that demo, and I love the fact that this is something that I think is more localized, so the guys in Kaneohe, the people who bought that house in Milani, they would probably be like this kind of presentation. I love direct mail. I love the fact that it goes to homeowners, and that's what I'm primarily looking at. So my market would fit for direct mail. Picking key zip codes in mature neighborhoods like maybe Milani, Kaneohe, Waipahu, Pearl City, Aiea. That would be my target market for that. Military press. We talked about the military being my secondary market, and I think there's some great newspapers that target that market really well for me. There's the Hikukini, there's the Hawaii Army Weekly, the Hawaii Marine, and the CNRH Navy News. Great papers. I would probably negotiate a long-term deal with them, and again, using both ads that are both emotive and rational to appeal to that market. Social networking, love it. Great cost, which is zero, and it has its benefits. It's not the way I would get the word out, but it's the way I would enhance my image and reinforce my brand. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Yelp, and whatever else comes out tomorrow. Great products, great tools, but they're good only so far. I would hire someone to manage these for me. I would hire a company that was professional and knew how to respond properly. But I would definitely stay engaged with it. I would want to answer and respond to any feedback, both positive and negatively. I'd also want to make sure that on a regular basis, daily, weekly, bi-monthly, whatever it may be, that I provide value to people who follow me, whether it's in the form of a new listing or maybe some endorsements or some testimonies from other people who go on tour. I want to make sure that people who followed me were able to get something out of it. One of the key things I like about social networking is its application to actual real-world networking. I would love to enhance my brand personally as well as my company's. That would help me get into more organizations, maybe as a presenter. It helped me get into more networks out there. It's a great lead generator is what I would use social networking for. I would also, again, use it to respond to comments. I also think it's a great way to find leads who people want to go on the tour. But the primary reason for social networking in my case is going to be lead generation and response to customers. Alternative marketing. Well, it's really simple for me. I love the fact that my service can help people. And if they help someone, I hope that person will go ahead and bring someone else in. So the alternative marketing I would focus on would be creating advocacy, creating advocates for my business. People who I teach, love it, continue to do it with me, but also bring others in. It is a fundamental process of mentoring that once I teach it to somebody, I encourage them to teach it to someone else, and then again, they teach it to someone else beyond them. Because by teaching, you learn more yourself. So I would focus a lot on advocacy. I would create a rewards program to help my students become advocates and bring in other students. Maybe there's a percentage off of the tour, or maybe there's a certain points or financing incentives we can give people. But I think creating advocacy and creating people to help become my salespeople for me is going to be the way I like to move forward with this. It's part of the networking process of social networking, and I think it's very, very effective. How does my product stand out from others out there? Well, there's not many out there at all. There are mainland companies that take people on tour, but very few, if any. I think there's none actually that do this from Hawaii. So no low competition for tours. However, that being said, my competition really would be other investment options. The fear of buying real estate is also something I need to overcome, and the fact that people need to learn how to be comfortable buying homes in another state. These are all the real world obstacles that I would have to overcome. So how would I overcome this? How do I make my product stand out from what's out there? First of all, I think it's going to be in the math. This is, again, the rational side of home buying. There's a built-in level of excitement when you can buy a house for only $50,000, or it's only listed for $50,000. There's this amazing feeling of, oh my God, what was that? When you cash flow on a property the month you own it. Being a landlord, I mean, from going to from being a renter to collecting rent. That's an emotional motivator. And I think those kinds of things are going to help me stand out from any other competition. Better than a mutual fund, better than I don't know, whatever investment people have here. I would also make sure to include my mentorship, the helping people, holding their hands through the process. I think that'll be very important to first-time people. Again, that's why my brand needs to be one of trust and good quality here. I would make it easy to succeed. People think buying a home is complicated. It is not. Well, it's not once you understand it. I will give people walking, talking success stories and the advocates that I create. I would only take 8 to 10 customers on the tour at a time, so that means everybody will get personal attention, and if they have questions, we'll get answers for them. I create kind of a real estate boot camp on this tour where everyone can learn and become proficient in the knowledge that they need. Again, they'll take it to a further level, but this gets them started. This is something that many other investments don't have, is that hand-holding process, the actual immersion in the process. And I want to give people the real opportunity to become landlords, to be owners. They will see and they'll be able to make offers and buy homes right there on the spot. And that will make this very unique against any other competition. Anyway, this is my presentation for the realestatebuyingtour.com. I hope you like it, and I hope we see this as a real world business soon. Thank you.